you ever wondered how the simple act of stitching connects generations of women, mothers, daughters, and friends through time and love? In today's video, we're celebrating the stories, techniques, and memories we pass down one thread at a time. For me, it all started with a little box of scraps from my mother's sewing table. Every piece told a story, and as I began stitching, I realized that I wasn't just making something new, I was continuing her story. Let me show you how those threads still inspire my slow stitching today. So join me today as I continue working on my small, soft book. And these I'm also gifting a kit with every $20 customer order in my Markets of Sunshine Etsy shop. The links and the details will be in the description below. So here's the cover, very simple cover, and the first page of my soft book. So I just want to give you ideas of what you can do with your own supplies, whether you pick up a kit or whether you are using scraps of fabric from your mother's sewing table or your grandmother's closet, heirlooms, whatever they may be. So this is my second page for my soft book, and it is absolutely turning out adorable. And every stitch tells a story, just as I have imagined that they would. And when I'm sitting relaxing here in my craft room at my desk, or if I'm sitting relaxing on my couch in the evening watching a movie and stitching, it just reminds me and takes me back all those years ago of when my mom would be making clothes for us so lovingly, so that we were always ready for any occasion. And even though I don't make clothing, but I enjoy my amazing handmade gifts, my soft books, my junk journals, my handmade quilts, my placemats, my pin cushions. There's so many amazing things that you can do and you can make once you learn how to use a needle and thread or a sewing machine. So I'm just going to add a few more stitches here to this page. As you can see, I added a lot of stitching over here, French knots, the pistol stitch. I guess that's what it's called. I don't know why I have such a hard time with that name for that stitch, but anyway. And so I'm adding a few little just running stitches, and then I'm going to be adding some new fabric designs to the back of this. So I'm kind of changing up the flow of what I was doing with the 1830-1850 fabrics. And so I've incorporated a few in here, but I'm also starting to bring in some other modern and vintage textiles along the way. So this is a quilted piece. This is a beautiful piece of lace, and then all of the stitching that I added here, the lazy daisy stitch, another French knot there. Absolutely stunning. Turned out a stamped image here on a piece of muslin, another word stamp here on this piece here. So I'm basically just going to stitch these two pieces here, which is a piece of fabric with the lace on top, and I just absolutely love the look of that. It looks so beautiful together. So I'm going to work over here on this side, and as I do, what I like to do is when I'm working on a back-to-back piece like this, I hide my knot between the two pages. So obviously you don't want your knot to be seen and on the outside, the back side of this or this side. So I just come in under here and I hide the knot, which is a really simple, easy trick to do. And, when you're sewing, if you get the opportunity to share any tips and tricks along the way with your children or grandchildren or nieces and nephews or neighbors' children or friends even. Maybe you don't even have children. Maybe your grandchildren aren't interested or your children aren't interested, but whoever is interested, that's what I would encourage you to do, is find out who is interested and share your knowledge and your techniques with them. And then you are going to be passing down the thread, and it's going to be an amazing feeling, and you're just going to be so happy knowing that you're sharing your skill with someone who really wants to learn. So that is my tip for this video, is find who does want to learn from you. Find who is interested in what you do, what you know, and pass it all along. Because why force those who don't want to learn what we know, but share with those who do want to learn. So when my niece lived here, she wanted to learn how to crochet. So I taught her to crochet. We bought the basic supplies, sat down together, showed her the basic stitches for starting off so that she could expand on that. And I don't know what she's done with it, if she's learned and added any more, if she ever made anything. And then for my daughter, I started her at a very early age, 5 years old, 6 years old, learning how to hand stitch and hand sew. And I still have those adorable items that she made. And I will show you those pictures at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Okay, so I am just going to use some of my basic stitches that I've shared with you here before, and I've been mentioning that, learn about 5, I would say like 5 basic stitches just to get you started, and then expand on that, and then add another 5, and that way you can not overwhelm yourself. You won't overwhelm yourself, and then you'll have, a nice variety of stitches that you can pick from when you sit down to sew. And that's one thing that is really fun about the hand sewing and embroidery, is that once you learn those stitches, really you just have to sit there and ponder for a moment and say, okay, which stitch do I want to do? Sometimes you may need to go back and watch a refresher on how to make a certain stitch. I know I've needed to do that a time or two myself. But if it's something very, very easy, even like the French knot and that pistol stitch, it's not a hard stitch to learn. And the lazy daisy, that one is a little trickier. The chain stitch is a little trickier. But once you get the technique of where do you place your needle and where do you place the thread, that's all there is to it. And then, so that's what is the simplest way, is learn where do I place my needle, where do I place my thread, and you're going to be good to go. And then that will give you more and more confidence when you're sewing, and you'll expand and you'll want to do more and more projects. You won't find that your supplies are just sitting there collecting dust because you're afraid you're going to mess it up somehow, or it's not going to turn out as beautiful as you would like it to, or what somebody else's that you've seen. And so one recommendation that I would say is learn very soon in your journey is not to compare yourself to anyone else. Compare yourself to your own progress. And so when you can take your first project and then your second project and compare your second project to your first project and continue to do that, and your first day of stitching to your 10th day of stitching, and continue to do that. And then that way, that's where you will see your personal growth. And to me, that's what it's all about. It's not about trying to be as good as someone else, just be better than your last project. So I'm just using a basic running stitch. That is your best friend with hand sewing. You don't need some big fancy stitch. Okay, so where am I going? Okay, so now I'm as I'm going down, well, that's okay because I'm actually attaching this front layer, even though I don't have any fabric to the back of this yet. So I am going to come through here, and I really want to get over to the little stamped image, and then I'll start picking up on this first piece that I put down. So I'm just going to continue my stitches until I can get over to that. Now this is a 12-week series that I am doing here on my channel, as the title said, with my friend at Icky Chic Designs. I don't know, I always get that messed. Excuse me. And so each week on Wednesday will be the new videos released, and we'll give you a little teaser at the end of the video of what's going to be coming next. So you'll be able to get excited and stay tuned and have your supplies ready, and just get ready to be inspired and to learn new techniques, because that's what this series is all about, is to inspire you and to storytell and teach you new techniques. And we're going to cross creative borders with the hand sewing and into paper crafting. So it's going to be a lot of fun for everyone. So for everyone's taste that loves to watch our videos, then both of those crafting enthusiasts will be able to join us and have something fun that they can incorporate in to their slow stitching, their hand sewing, or their paper crafting, junk journaling, card making, whatever it may be. So 12 weeks, you have a lot of fun, creative fun coming your way, and I hope that you will join Linda and myself. And I am so excited to be doing this project with her. It's really, really unlocking my creativity, is giving me something to look forward to, and that's what we all need. We need something new and fun and refreshing, and this is what I am finding new, fun, and refreshing. So new projects and fun techniques, and just coming up with ideas for you so that you can get excited with your sewing projects. And that's why we watch YouTube tutorials, because we want new and exciting ideas. We kind of get stuck in a rut, don't you think? It's very easy to get stuck in a rut. Okay, so now I am going through several layers, and it is not easy, ouch, getting this needle through these layers, and I'm going to have to wiggle it and encourage it to let go and come through there. I'm really finding that it can become difficult for me when I'm going through four layers of fabric and a layer of batting. I mean, this is like, it does not want to let go. It does not want to come through there. And I'm finding I really don't have, oh, there we go. Whew, I thought it was not going to cooperate. I don't have the hand strength that I used to have. Probably I need to find my thimble. I think I'm at that point of I need to start wearing a thimble. And it's not because I can use the tabletop to actually get the needle through the layers like this. Just turn it over, press it down. But it's this point here where I could need the metal thimble to actually put on the head of this needle and encourage it and push it on through is what I need. So, and I'm looking at my little sewing basket. I think I have a plastic one, and I really don't know if the plastic would hold up. Let me just take a gander. Okay. What do we have? Do I even have one in here? That is a very good question. I am not seeing one. And what is down in here? Lots of applique, but no thimble. I am wondering, where did I put my thimble? Isn't this the cutest thing? Birds, nature, everything that I love in a shape of a cupcake. Yeah, so I will have to get, I don't know. I'm really at a loss as to where I even have a thimble. But I know if I have one, I will find it eventually. And that's really the only sewing basket. I do have that little pocket, what is it, like an 8-pocket bag that I purchased off of Amazon. And I may have put a thimble in there. I'm not quite remembering that either. So, I don't know. But a thimble, I would definitely say, if you're like me and you have difficulty going through 4 layers of fabric and the batting, then a thimble is in order. Okay, this is actually cooperating because now I was not going through the 4 layers. Okay, so here's my progress. All right, so I started here at this corner. I went down here, came down through here, went back up here, and went around the edges of the little teacup image, and there you go. That is a wrap for this adorable second page of my soft book for slow stitching. Now let's find out, what do I have for you in store for next week? So as we stitch, we're not just mending fabric, we're weaving stories, healing old memories, and creating something that carries a little piece of our hearts forward. Now, wouldn't you say, especially when you're sitting there on the couch watching the movies, that's when I really can put my mind and feeling into that whole moment of time. And then, if this video reminded you of the creative women in your family or sparked your own memories, I'd love for you to share your story in the comments below. Because every thread, every piece of fabric has a voice. And next week, we'll take that feeling even further in our next episode. Are you ready for it? Creative Confidence for Silver Sisters. We'll talk about how handcrafting helps us rediscover self-esteem, purpose, and joy, especially after 45. When we finally have the freedom to create just for ourselves. So keep stitching, keep growing, and keep passing down the thread. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.